Hi all, this formative assessment tool is Google Forms. You guys have filled out many Google Forms as a part of STEM prep, but let's figure out how to use them really effectively in a classroom. So I've got an example Google form already going, otherwise you could just pick the blank quiz. As you're coming into it, there's a lot of features that I kind of want to highlight here. As a quiz, you can just change your settings to quizzes. It has a lot of really cool features, especially for our Chromebooks. That'll make it so that students can't see other applications, which is really great, especially if you don't want them using a calculator or looking up a formula. You can also release the grades quickly to give them immediate feedback, respond seeing those missed questions, correcting answers. Okay, so we're going to set that to making it a quiz, and it's on locked mode. What you can do, there's some basics here, obviously adding a new question. There's a bunch of different types of questions depending on what you want. They're pretty self-explanatory, but checkboxes, multiple choice, etc. And also being able to provide that answer key so that you can give that feedback for when they're checking their work. Okay. So this question right here, there's answers put in, and based off of the answers, you can direct the students somewhere. So let's say that they picked 21, okay? And that would show that your student multiplied 3 times 7 and did not take into account that it's a triangle and not a rectangle. Okay, so you can choose to direct your students. When you go in here, make it a required question. These little 3 dots right here, if you click on them, you can have each of the answers send them to a different section. So if a student scores correctly on this question, you can send them on their merry way to continue answering different questions. However, if they miss the question, you can say continue to next section, or you can choose a new section highlighted here, and this could be a reassessment opportunity where you ask them the question, but maybe this time you add a visual and see if that supports their understanding. Or you could have a different answer choice, having it correct the error. Like, what was the error that the student made? So my question might be, Dan multiplied 8 times 7 to find the area of a triangle. And then your answer choices could be about the reasoning behind it. And you could get some more student data based off of that. And it's differentiating your quiz for your students who are on task or on level, on mastery level, or students who need a little bit more support. To create those extra sections that you could direct students to, you're going to have to click this button right here. Let me see if I can get it on the screen. It's called Add Section. It's the final one of these pieces. And you can add different sections to send the students to. So this has been a very brief overview of Google Forms. Again, it's a really great opportunity for not only getting formative assessment data, but also for engaging our students in CASP-style questions, and also being able to collect that data and give feedback immediately, because immediate feedback is super important. When you are sending it out, make sure that you collect students' email addresses. That'll make it easy for you. Another really important thing, I would definitely always add a question at the beginning for the name. So let's add a question. We would put this at the front, name, and that way it has it for you when you're ready to go. Also with the name, you can add a description by going to those 3 dots again. And you can just put how you want it. So maybe you want it last name first, and then first name, or whatever description you would like. All right, so after we have all of this stuff down, what does it look like when it comes to you as the teacher? I switched my screen over to a former Google form that I've used before, just so that we can look at what happens with the responses. So when you get your Google form back and you have all your responses, you can have a list of who's responded. The best feature is you can just click on creating a spreadsheet, creating a new one, That then sends you this spreadsheet with all of your students' information that you can go over very easily and organize by grade or class. Another great feature of this is if one of your students, they were absent or they submitted late, it will just continue adding on to the Google Sheet and you won't have to go back and make a new one each time. So at the bottom, it'll be like the next student, it'll show up right on the Google spreadsheet. All right, let's get to work and see where we could implement this in our classrooms and make ourselves a Google form to collect that formative assessment and give our students feedback.